There. It says we're live.
It lies.
I know.
I'm here to tell you, I have one joint on my entire corpus that I've never injured. It is my right shoulder. I have never injured my right shoulder. It is killing me today. Everybody wish Liz a happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
Liz, Sushi Fox is Liz Yarborough. Wish her a happy birthday. All right. If you would like to donate money for old crippled folks in a blanket fort, send money here.
Yeah, because who the hell knows what kind of weather we need.
Oh,
We're just the old cranky people at the blanket fort.
I
It
hurt.
isn't just like, I don't
Yeah.
know. But
hurting.
thank you, everybody, for the donations. It's actually made a pretty serious dent in the cold weather bill. So thank you. Fabulous. So,
Ow.
Yeah.
now,
$600 a friggin' month.
yeah, just to keep the place warm.
Yeah.
It's been pretty stupid. So
Never ever hurt this joint before.
it's compensating.
Yeah,
Right.
humidity has changed.
Yeah, I mean, it's
If you like coffee, and if you wash your morning of leave down with coffee, the doctor will look at you weird. Do it anyway,
it also keeps me from hurting people. So
right? So King Harvest Imperial Coffees makes really good coffee, especially their Ethiopian blends. You
Yes.
should talk to them. If you do, please remind them that you heard about it from us.
And the geisha's not bad either.
They're not bad either.
And their Cajun coffee, the chicory is actually pretty good too.
I've heard it's really good coffee.
It is. Just don't drink it if you want to sleep at night.
Among the Leaves at tinyurl.com/Among the Leaves tees. If you need a sassy t-shirt, he's got your t-shirt. If you order from him, again, let him know you heard about it from us.
Yeah, Jesse, I don't often roll a joint, but when I do, it's an ankle. Yes.
I'm actually trying to reach across the desk with my dominant arm and move my cell phone so I can put this pile under it, and my shoulder doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah, it's kind of the fourth Monday of the week.
No kidding.
Welcome, everybody. And I was told I need to put up a reminder, so I'll just say it. If you want to get the chat, wait 24 hours before you view the stream. It normally takes about 24 hours for the chat to show up.
Yep.
Yeah, Fall Spring. I think we're going to get snow down here in Texas in March.
No kidding. 8-pound rice cooker walking his back.
Oh, yes. So the little Thai girls. Yes.
Rita is a great back rub, but she's currently somewhere else. I don't know why this shoulder hurts so bad. This one that I've broken 4 or 5 times in 3 different incidents is fine.
Yeah.
This is one that hurts.
Well, my 3 times separated right shoulder is not liking me today. So, yeah, I know the feeling.
Oh, look, the cardiac ward is well represented. How you doing, Todd?
Well, folks, I got to start with one here. Microsoft.
Here we go.
The
Microshaft.
yeah. And Steve, one of our folks on here who is not on here yet, sent me an interesting link. And I'd kind of been watching it because, oh, damn, DW, you got 10 pounds? I was stuck with 5 pounds for a fucking month. Yeah, pacemaker. Yeah, we're all in such good shape. Anyway, he sent me a link and I'd kind of been watching it. I got off of Windows after 7 died and haven't been back on it. The latest and greatest from Microsoft is they want everything to go to subscription, including your OS, and put everything on the web in the cloud.
But AKA somebody else's computer.
Yeah, somebody else's computer. They're pushing this to small businesses. Now, this brings up a couple of questions. First and foremost, if you're a medical office and do that, what happens to HIPAA? Now, granted, we know HIPAA is a farce anyway, because they do everything in the hospital on Wi-Fi, which is not secured. So it's real easy to go in there and pluck off anything you want. But think about this, as a business, you're now putting all your financials in the cloud.
Yeah.
How many companies would love to know what your financials are? Just think about that.
How many governments would love to know what your financials are?
Yeah. Much less if, like what 90% of my previous job was, classified. Are you going to put your classified in the web? Their plan is you don't have local storage. Everything goes in the cloud. Now, I
That's
know,
such a bad idea.
having had the experience in 1989 of having Russians, or at that time Soviets, correcting a paper from one of my guys at postgraduate school that storage in the cloud is not secure.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. And the thing with having everything on the web, making everything web based and not I'm old. I have a tower. Thank you. To not have everything on your local tower, on your computer, to have it all web based means that somebody, multiple somebodies, can click a mouse button and turn you off.
Yep. And that was the other point. What happens if you lose the internet? We lose the internet down here regularly. What happens then? You don't do your work. Yeah, Greg, you are correct. However, that cloud, quote unquote, never leaves the building. Just like what we had up in DC.
I don't want to learn coding. I don't do Linux. I don't want to learn coding. I don't have time. I'm a busy man.
Yeah.
However, they're going to make me learn coding.
Well, there are options. Linux, however you want to say it.
And there's a lot of stuff Linux won't run.
Yeah. Ubuntu works, and it works well. And it will work on a Windows computer. It will work on a Mac, for that matter. Mint is very Windows-like. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, Mint is a version of Linux.
Yeah, it's another version. Open Office. Now, Libre Open Office is as good, I think, as Microsoft Office. And it's free.
I might have to look into Linux Mint because
Yeah.
I have done pissed off somebody. I'm sure y'all are hiding your shocked faces. I'm quite pleased with the fact that apparently there's another fatwa on me. Rita is a little concerned. I don't know why. That there's another fatwa on Bogus Golf Gazette. I used to collect them. It's fun. But I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I was sick. Rita and I were both sick, so we didn't watch the Super Bowl. But apparently there was an ad for Ring doorbell cameras.
Oh, yes.
That somebody apparently, well, as far as I'm concerned, miscalculated. Apparently, Ring doorbell cameras did an advert that was out of Orwell's Darkest Nightmares as far as Orwellian authoritarian societies goes.
Yeah.
And my inner FUD is about to come out. I did not think that we needed a Butlerian jihad quite yet, but I'm starting to think we need a Butlerian jihad. I was counting. We live in a tiny town. We do. We live in a small town in rural Texas. The number of Ring doorbells when Rita were out for our nightly walk made me nervous. And the fact every one of them was recording us makes me really nervous. Due to training, past history, past lifestyles, I have a screaming dislike of panopticon societies. But we are headed that way, and the millennials are driving it.
Yep. And the other ad, which cracked me up, was the Microsoft ad for Excel using AI to do shit that people have been doing for years with Excel. It's absolutely hilarious. I did find out that Budweiser again won for the best ad this year with the horse and the eagle.
They're desperately trying to get back their drinkers after their.
Yeah, but they brought back the Clydesdales. Clydesdales have always been my favorite.
Yep. So I started carrying. I need to talk to Bill.
Copilot AI sucks to start with. Yes, I have heard that from a number of people. Nobody that I know is happy with it.
Butlerian Jihad. That is from Frank Herbert's Dune. And the Butlerian Jihad was something happened. I only read the first book, so don't get me to line. That'll probably correct me. Was in the Dune universe, at some point, the entire universe decreed, or the human universe decreed, that thinking machines were bad.
Yeah.
And destroyed all thinking machines, and thinking machines are no longer allowed. I got to mess around with a SIG P365 macro, and I need to talk to some folks that know about how good that thing is, because I'm really liking what I got a hold of. I'm really liking. Probably need to call Bill later.
The continuation of the last discussion.
Well, I'm finding myself carrying weapons a lot more, and I'm probably going to do an EDC buffet post for Bug Scuffle about the various stuff I carry and when I carry it, and
yeah, where's Alex when you need him?
tending to his cows, those big ass cows.
Those fluffy cows that eat pets.
But I was trying to explain to Rita the difference between the carrying the Palm and my Asp Defender. And she said, well, when? And so I know when I need to carry each one. But now I need to explain the difference. And, I've got different knives for different pepper sprays, different knives for different scenarios or daily activities. And I probably need to.
Well, some people do that. You do. I do to a limited extent. Other people carry the same thing every day.
Yeah.
Their EDC never changes.
Mine does. If the Palm, which is my favorite pepper spray, is what's called Mark 6. It's fairly large and with a thumb. Trouble is, I can't carry it in a pocket comfortably. A jeans pocket. If I'm wearing a hoodie, you'll see the little gray clip in the kangaroo pocket. I'll clip the Palm, the pepper spray, for a left-hand draw in the kangaroo pocket.
Yeah.
Or in a jacket pocket. If I'm at work in pressed tan jeans and a polo shirt, the folks get a little concerned when they see pepper spray. So I've got a key Sport Defender. It looks like a pin that's clipped into my the placket of my polo shirt like a pin, so I can draw and hose somebody. That's the difference. If I need to, if the Palm with the better range and the better lost a word. Squirrels, glow stick, fuck. The better, there's more of it in the palm. There's 6 shots out of my Defender, and there's like 20 out of my palm. But it doesn't fit in everything. Like knives. Generally, I carry the Griptilian. But there's sometimes, if I'm taking Rita to an opera and I'm in a frickin' tuxedo, this does not need to be sticking in the pocket, out of the pocket. It makes everybody nervous. So I've got a gentleman's knife that I carry when this makes people nervous. It's
Yeah. Bill, I changed mine based on the amount of coverage that I have.
I never rotate firearms. Well, I take that back. I said earlier, I think last one,
Yeah.
that I've got a mailbox gun, which when I'm wearing a robe, it goes in the pocket of the robe. Other than that, right now it's a Glock 48, or if Rita is doing another sketchy Craigslist transaction in the Walmart parking lot at 0200 hours. Y'all know that Walmart is the water hole on the Serengeti of crime, right?
Yeah.
When she's doing another sketchy Craigslist deal on a Walmart parking lot at 2 a.m, I will take the Glock 19 with extended mags and everything else. But normally it's the 48. I got to look at that 365 macro, which is 48 size. It's got 7 more rounds. I won't have to switch when the 48 and the 19 when she decides she wants to buy something from the sketchy dude in a Walmart parking lot at 0400 hours.
Yeah, Bill, I do rotate for the season. Yes, that is correct. This kind of leads into the other thing that I wanted to talk about. And that's the difference between leadership and management. And Ian takes a long drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, per Tom Gibbons, Walmart parking lots are the #1 crime venue in the U.S. Yes.
Watering holes on the Serengeti of crime.
Robberies of tractor trailer drivers, robberies of RVs that are parked there. Yes.
And everybody uses the Walmart parking lot for your sketchy Craigslist deal.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're gonna do a deal, you do it in a friggin' police parking lot. How fucking hard is it?
It's 2026. I'm gonna let you in on something that needs to be a little better known. A lot of courthouses now do video surveillance on their parking lots so you can do your 2 a.m. sketchy Craigslist deal. We did. We set up cameras and we told everybody, hey, if you're bringing a tube of Krugerrands to trade to somebody you've never met before for his tires, do it in the courthouse parking lot. That way, when you get killed, we've got a nice picture of your killer.
Yeah. I remember a deal that I did in Birmingham one night in a bank parking lot for a 30-06. And after we had done the exchange, we kind of looked at each other and went, maybe we should have done this somewhere else, because we're on film in a bank parking lot handling a rifle. Let's leave. And we both hauled ass.
2 or 3 sketchy deals ago.
Yeah.
I forget what the hell. I got out and I was a little nervous because the guy she was buying from brought a friend.
Yeah.
And then I realized all 3 of us were armed.
Of course. Anyway, leadership versus management. The words do not mean the same thing.
Nope.
And I'll just use the military, since that's what I spent way too fucking many years in. We started out with upward. And then we went to Maslow. And then we went to management by objective. And then we went to Six Sigma. And then it became Lean Six Sigma. And you watch the progression, because it never got percolated through the whole outfit. You had a select group, either senior enlisted or junior officers that would get one or the other of the trainings. And as they rose in rank, they tended to stay with that and never went to the follow-on training. Management is doing things by committee and ego, yes. But we saw it. One of the biggest changes that I saw personally was the change in commanding officers and how they did things. They went from get the job done to, oh, I need to make sure all the paperwork is right. Became, because they were JOs when management by objective came in. And I literally watched it. I had a CO in the 70s when we were still actively involved in Vietnam, whose mantra was, do the job first, do the paperwork later. In the early 90s, after I'd retired and went back to work for the Navy, I was out in Hawaii, and the chief of staff, who I had known for way too friggin' many years at that point, was bending my ear because he had had a squadron CO who turned down operational commitments because he had already finished his paperwork for the month. Operational CO.
Can you see my eye twitching?
Yeah. Who turned down a chance to go play with the bad guys because he'd already done his paperwork for the month and didn't want to resubmit it. Now, he was, granted, when he was ranked with the other COs out there, he was at the bottom of the pile for good reason. The other issue, and I'm seeing a lot of the comments in the chat, civilian efficiency systems don't translate well to military. That's correct. They never have, they never will. Army Leadership Manual. Management is utilizing resources effectively. Leadership is inspiring, motivating.
The actual quote from the military, because I went to a couple of schools where I had to repeat it on the regular, is process of influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation to accomplish missions and improve the organization. Leadership is earned. Management is given. Anybody can be a manager. It takes somebody above you going, you're managing those bunch.
Yeah.
Leadership, you have to earn from your subordinates. That's the plain, simple, dirty, simple truth of it. Not anybody can be a manager. All it takes is somebody's blessing.
Yeah.
Thou art a manager. Go forth and piss everybody off. Leadership's earned. Not everybody can be a leader.
Mike Burke had an interesting Substack the other day.
He usually does.
Yeah. And it was about, effectively, it was about leadership.
Mike Burke was a sergeant major in Uncle Sam's Misguided Children, so he would know.
Yeah. Well, this is when he was an E8, first sergeant. The thing is, a leader will do what it takes. Leader is not afraid to get in and get dirty. Mm-hmm. The leader will not assign something that he wouldn't or she wouldn't be willing to do themselves. And they take care of their people. That, to me, is one of the biggest differences between leadership and management.
I'll give a personal anecdote. At the old facility that I worked at, when they moved me back to the jail, the tanks for the inmates were dorm tanks. And basically somebody took a warehouse and put a bunch of cages in a warehouse. So the top of it was bars. And it was a warehouse, so they got filthy. Well, the order came down upon high that every time we shook down a tank, we searched the tank, that one of the officers had to get up on top of the tank with a broom and brush the dirt and dust buffaloes off of the top bars. Well, the very next time that my shift had a shakedown in a tank, my lieutenant ass crawled up on top of the bars with a broom and started brushing. The shift after, the shift supervisor told somebody to do it, and the third shift drew lots. And later on, I was asked why my shift everybody never bitched about going up. They never, because people fell off, and that was what, 12 feet up?
Yeah.
Officers would fall off, officers would step through the bars. That's battering the leg.
Yes.
I never had anybody from my shift bitch about having to go up there. Why? Because lieutenant went up there first. There's your difference.
Yeah.
I never ever asked one of my people to do something I hadn't already done in front of them.
Yeah, Robert, Six Sigma was, I think, kind of the death knell of leadership versus management, because the Six Sigma people, as Robert said, would tell you they were Six Sigma black belts. Now, all they had done was gone to a class and got a check in the block certification. They hadn't actually done a fucking thing.
Means nothing to me driving on.
Yeah. Taking care of your people is a critical part.
Again, leadership I learned in the Army, never ever ask your people to do something they haven't seen you already do.
Yeah. Yeah, Chesty Puller. He'd been there, he'd done that, and he led by example. And that's the other thing. There is a weight to leadership. It's not free. You're always paying the price. When it's taking care of your people, it's making sure they get fed, they get a bed, they have what they need before you take care of yourself.
When one of my people screwed up, the very, very first thing I always did was make sure it wasn't through misunderstanding my guidance. Every time. And that used to drive the other supervisors at the sheriff's office crazy. When people screwed up, their version, tell them to go talk to the sheriff. Mine, did I give an order incorrectly? Was I imprecise with my language? Is this actually my fault? And if I thought my officer was in the right, I was in there, metaphorically speaking, throwing punches. Managers sending their people up there to take their lumps.
Yeah.
I disagree. No.
Yeah, Greg, that's an excellent point. It's also your job as a leader to keep the bullshit at your level. Don't let it roll downhill.
I was telling Mike, he laughing his ass off about a situation where I was fixing a problem. And during the fixing of the problem, I had rather dramatically thrown some equipment out of the third floor window because I told my people not to do something. They did it. The stuff they used to do it went out the window. Well, one of them went and sniveled to HQ without letting me know, which is cardinal sin. And so when I found out about it, I told him, I said, yes, you can go to HQ all you want. Go up to staff all you want. I will not step in your way. But the next person that goes to staff without telling me first is going out the window after the furniture. They got the point. And I that was my job in the military, was to keep brigade HQ off my guys' butts. But they needed to help me out. Don't do stuff that would get brigade HQ up my ass.
Yeah, RK, that's exactly right. As an officer, your job is to stand between the higher ups and the troops. But that also applies to your senior enlisted. As the leading petty officer in the shop, I was responsible for 40 some odd anti-submarine warfare operators, which was a challenge, to put it mildly, because of the egos involved.
Oh, God, yes.
And the fact that we had some superb people, we had some really good people, we had some good people, and we had some average people.
It's pretty fairly bog standard group of folks.
Yeah, but you've got to treat them all equally.
Yeah.
Which means you are shooting at the 50th percentile. You're going to lose some of the low end. You're going to lose some of the high end.
If a subordinate screws up, what you need to ask yourself, the second thing you need to ask yourself, first thing is it my fault?
Is it your fault? Yeah.
Second thing you need to ask yourself is this subordinate salvageable? If they are salvageable, salvage them.
If
If
not,
they're not, get rid of them.
yes.
Quick, clean, rip the bandage off. If they're not salvageable, get rid of them.
Yep. And we had to do that a couple of times.
I've had to do it more once.
Yeah.
I've salvaged a lot of people and I've kicked a lot to the curb.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you get a second lieutenant that was worth the crap.
Leaders will say, follow me.
Yeah.
Managers will say, go that way.
Yeah.
That if you want a simple and dirty, leaders say, follow me. Managers say, go that way.
Best boss told us, you need anything, let me know. Just use small words. Yes.
I've said around here more than once.
Because a good leader knows enough about what you're doing to be able to actually be functional in leading you in that task. That does not mean that the leader knows everything there is to know about that task or all the things that go into it.
Jonna and Cedar both have heard more than once. Can you say that again, but use small publisher words this time?
One of the things that I did personally was when I got commissioned and went back to my former squadron, to my former crew 13 months later, was to tell my operators that I would never look over their shoulder. Because that would have done bad things, to put it mildly. Well, would have meant I didn't trust them. Whether I did trust them or not was immaterial.
One of the hardest things to teach a new leader, and a lot of folks never get it, is micromanagement stifles your folks. Micromanagement is terrible. It stifles creativity. It kills initiative. What you have to do, set your left and right limits and let them solve the problem on their own. They will shock you about how good of a solution they come up with. Don't go here, set the parameters. You can't go here, you can't go here. Everything in between, solve it your way. The manager will say, this is the way you will solve it. The leader will say, your left limit, your right limit, fix it.
Yep.
And the leader will get better. He'll get better results.
Another key point is listening. The leader will actually listen. The manager will sit there and nod as it goes in one ear and out the other, because they already know what the book says they're supposed to do. Now, what is that book? Is it Management by Objectives? Is it Lean Six Sigma? What is the book? Are you on the same page they are? The odds are no, they're not. Leaders will sit there and dig until they find out what the problem is. And then they will give you options, as Ian said, give you those limits. Pick a limit. Where am I going to fix it? How am I going to fix it? Greg, that's an interesting statement, and it's also true in a number of ways. One of the most interesting things was to leave work at a decent hour. Now, I knew a superior who had a different work ethic. He would go in at 4 o'clock in the morning and be there till 10 o'clock at night. But he would actually chase his people out at 1700.
I used to do that.
Because he wanted them gone. He wanted them to get rest.
It's 5 o'clock. Go home, folks.
Yeah. He only slept about 4 hours a night. He would run miles a day. He would go in at 4 o'clock in the morning because he had a specific way he wanted his coffee made. And even as an admiral, he was making his own coffee in the Pentagon. And B, he wanted that quiet time to catch up on the message stack from the night before and the day before. The E8, that was his flag secretary, would routinely come in at 5 o'clock in the morning, find the admiral already there with message stacks. And the E8 would routinely bitch at the admiral about it. And the admiral would always say, I'm not taking your job away. I'm just getting caught up where I can brief the hires at 8 o'clock in the morning rather than having to rush through everything and miss something.
My brain squirrels need, there's a lot of stuff my brain squirrels need quiet. We were in a big open office. My team was in a big open office, and we had no partitions. Everybody moving would pop up in my field. Moving, typing would pop up my field of vision. So I would frequently send folks home at 17 hours so that I would have 30 minutes of peace and quiet to focus and do stuff.
Yep. Okay, that's another good one. The proverbial HQ that would call and check and see if you were still there. That just is annoying as shit.
It's micromanaging. It needs to stop.
Well, and it's covering their ass too.
Give them something to do is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do, so I'm going to call people who are actually working so I can claim to have done something. Are you there? Am I on the phone?
Greg, I would never take paperwork home because the other thing,
Chewed out for doing that.
the other thing is you need to leave that crap at the office
I got chewed out for doing that once.
because it'll bleed over and you destroy the family life. Because family life is as important, if not more important, than your job as a leader. Because that family life is what keeps you grounded.
Also, if you're a leader and you've got good subordinates and you take stuff home, they'll take stuff home because you're leading by example. And if you're taking a case home to work on it after dinner, they'll take stuff home. And that's not for them to do. But you can't tell them not to do it if you're doing it. So work stays at work, home stays at home. And that's something else you need to provide direction on is your subordinates. They'll follow your example. And if you're being a bit of a ninny hammer in doing too much work, they'll either do too much work also, or they'll feel guilty for not doing what you're doing. Don't do that.
Yeah, Padre, if the military wanted you to have a family, they would have issued you one. For years, the military controlled what rank you could get married at. That's not saying people didn't get married.
Thinking of all those PV2s and all those strippers.
No, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But for years, they literally would disapprove people getting married because they weren't senior enough in rank.
Also, if that's a stripper.
Yeah, sometimes. Now, that did work out both ways sometimes. Now, we did have a situation, and this was again in the 70s, in December, where we had a kid transfer in. He showed up on a Friday night, 22:30, 2300. Jacksonville does not get that cold. It was cold that night. And this kid was 19 years old. He had an 18-year-old wife in the car with a 9-month-old baby. And they were broke.
I bet they were broke. Babies are not cheap.
Yeah. So between us in the duty office, we cobbled enough together to get them through the weekend and get them fed. Monday, he formally brought into the squadron, put her in the Navy Lodge while we tried to scramble around and find some enlisted quarters for them. Come to find out, they were out of Missouri or Kentucky or somewhere up there. Neither one of them had ever had any training in money. The kid had no idea what a bank account was. He never had a bank account. Neither had she. Yeah.
And a Sprague on the ground.
And a Sprague. Yeah.
Woo!
They had gotten married when he graduated from boot camp.
He sneezed. Out came the kid.
9 months later, yes. That must have been one hell of a wedding night.
Silver bullet right off the bat.
Yeah. But we managed to get them settled in and get them into a number of different programs. We got her into a program with a bank that would teach her about banking. What money was, what a bank account was, how to manage money. And they actually became very successful. She ended up working for the bank later. Last time I saw him, he was an E8. So they had done pretty well.
There's Private Schmuckatelli.
Yeah.
And his 18-year-old wife and their nine-month-old baby. All right.
Yeah.
Which NCO has the most patience? Schmuckatelli, report to Sergeant Rognaby.
Yeah. And Tom says, Rule 1, do not date your co-workers. Rule 2, we're going to overwork you so that the only members of the other sex you ever see are your co-workers.
Do not
Yeah.
date in the company pool.
Yeah. 100 miles from the flagpole.
Do not fish in the company pool whatsoever. Never comes out right.
Nope.
Don't you put that evil on me. You were an example. But I've had to do that. Oh my God, it's crap. This one, good kid, but doesn't have the sense God gave a Christmas goose.
Yeah.
You find your most patient NCO. This is your new platoon daddy.
Yeah. Well, for us, it was which instructor was going to be on wing when, that kid had to come through the pipeline.
Oh, for those of you who come in late, Sushi Fox is Liz Yarborough. You need to wish her happy birthday. Happy birthday, Liz.
Yeah, DW, that was a normal response. Ah, shit, not me. No, I don't want another one.
Not another one.
Of course, that was also back in the day when we had right of refusal on instructors.
Really?
Yeah.
How odd.
Yeah, we had 90-day right of refusal after they checked in.
Hmm.
Now, we did boot a few that just, they were good operators, but they weren't necessarily good instructors.
Yeah.
Uh,
People ask me all the time why I don't teach any sort of self-defense.
yeah,
I'm not a good instructor. I'm good at utilizing it, but my instruction is geared towards people other than the average American civilian.
yeah. Yeah, James, I've been that most patient NCO. Left you wondering what you were doing wrong.
Yeah.
The problem, what you were doing wrong was you were being patient.
Hey, DW. Touche. At 2, Bruce.
Oh, and DW hits a home run.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah. Military intelligence MOS was about like anti-submarine warfare. We were the same level as the nukes. So we had the same bunch of scatterbrained.
Wondering if Tom is taking it personally.
intelligence and wisdom. There's always a difference. But both of those organizations, you had a lot of people that would play what if and then take it to the extreme of going, well, if I do this, what's going to happen? Shit, I don't know. Let's try it and see.
The difference between intelligence and operations is a vast and deep gulf.
Oh,
Vast and deep gulf. There, the intelligence side of the house, there are some good people there. They are.
they always had the good booze hidden in the bottom right drawer of their desk, too.
But they
Assholes.
tend to have a very, very narrow and rosy worldview.
Yeah. Because they never had to put their ass on the line in most cases. Well, RK maybe in the Army, but in the Navy, I'm going to guarantee it was the damn bottom right-hand drawer in a skiff was where the booze was. Not that I've been in enough skiffs to know that or anything.
I'm not saying anything. Not saying anything.
The yeah, if you were flying recce missions or doing HUMINT, those were about the only 2 times that they got in the field.
For those of you who don't know, human is human intelligence. Human intelligence is the powers that be keep trying to get rid of it. SIGINT, which is signals intelligence, is always going. There's always some weenie that all we need to do is listen into their radio traffic or their phone traffic or what the hell ever, or use computers or whatever. So they keep trying to phase out putting boots on the ground to go follow people around.
Which does not work. You need the human. You need
putting boots on the ground to follow people around. You do. That's just the plain simple fact of the matter. But about every 10 years or so, some pencil neck geek in whatever out of Foggy Bottom will announce that SIGINT is we don't need to send people into Tripoli to follow that one dickhead around. We can just listen to a cell phone. Oh, by the way, Greg took a screenshot. I love it. Took a screenshot of me the other day. I had not realized that my duh face was that undiplomatic. Apparently it is.
The RK says, my office in the old IG Farming building had a bank safe for intelligence contingency fund, i.e. bribery
booze.
Yeah, Jerry, the paralysis of analysis. That's
paralysis by analysis is the thing.
And it's so friggin' frustrating.
No, DW, that's not, yes, as you do, but there's always some pencil neck geek about 4 with a PhD degree or 4 ranks above you about every 10 years. I've seen it.
That's a DIA or CIA, one or the other.
That we don't really need to send boots on the ground. And we go through regular cycles of you say so, takes it in the neck, or whatever, and we don't put boots on the ground. We don't need that budget doesn't need. And then suddenly pops up, oh my God, why can't we get somebody that speaks Farsi into Tehran to follow that one jackass around? Because we haven't paid for them. And then we have to start the whole thing up again. And HUMINT, to be able to go into a culture and be able to follow somebody around without getting snatched in a dark alley and knifed takes about a year's worth of training. Last I checked, it was about a year's worth of training. You can't compress that.
Yeah. And Tom is also right. It wasn't always Foggy Bottom. Sometimes it was Meade. But that was
RK.
Yeah.
RK, yeah.
Once again, people trying to protect their stovepipes, whatever their particular type was. And the ones that were NSA types out of Meade were probably worse than just about anybody else. Without getting into detail, we had one situation where we were chasing a particular boat, and the boat was known to be out, and we could not jump it until we had a positive location. Well, we had other sources that were looking at where the boat was. But by the time they had consolidated their analysis, and it finally got to us, it was 4 to 6 hours old, which meant the boat wasn't there anymore. Yeah, Mach T, yeah,
Motsy.
yeah.
Somebody mentioned Motsy. Oh, Greg. Of course, Greg. Figured it would have been an
The
arcade.
way we finally beat the system was we inserted a guy into that particular location and told him as soon as he saw a positive to call us with where he felt it was.
Oh, noes.
So we waited 2 more days, got a call, and said, we've got a gain in this area. So we launched. And it was a cold launch. We went out with no precursor. And we got a pattern in the water and gained contact. And we did our mission. We came home. We were already back on the deck before the other agency ever sent the notification for the 9-hour, at that point, 9-hour-old data. And then they wanted to know why we had launched without their permission.
Not your business. Moving on.
Yeah. Basically, we told them pound sand and we left town.
Not your business. Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah, DW, that's another excellent point. Battle of the Bulge was the Germans were not discussing it over comms. It was all face to face. That's where you've got to have human.
Mhm.
You've got to have somebody speaking the language there. By there, I mean either close enough to observe and
Just if you can, I don't care how many cell phones you listen to, or how many pagers you intercept, or how many computers you're hacked into. I will guarantee you that a week of afternoons in a Baghdad coffee shop with somebody who could understand and differentiate between an Iranian accent and an Iraqi accent. I got in trouble for telling somebody, you want to solve the problem? Go in that town, kill everybody with an Iranian accent. If you sit somebody in a Baghdad coffee shop that knows the difference between an Iranian accent and an Iraqi accent and just listen for a week full of afternoons, you will get more actionable intelligence than you will hacking every computer in Baghdad.
probably true. Now, there are times when SIGINT comes in handy.
Oh, yeah. The two of them,
Mainly when they're trying to shoot your ass down.
the two of them are not mutually exclusive, but you need both.
Yeah.
And the tendency every 10 years or so to human is too dangerous and it's too expensive. We can do it better with SIGINT. Stop that shit. That just
Yeah. Yeah, RK, that's another stovepipe, DIA, thinking they're in charge. The number of times the Army unit was told to pound sand, the data was obsolete. Yes. Nah, I can't even go there. Never mind. Anyway, books that are coming out.
yes, many. Pogue 2 is out. Apparently it came out a bit early. So happy Valentine's Day. You now have we released a book for you to give to your Valentine. It's Pogue 2. What?
Valentine's Day gift. Here's the mop.
There you go. what she said. And I,
Didn't hear what she said.
I said, here's the mop, dear.
yeah. Pogue 2. We've got some other stuff coming out, and I just blanked on it.
Battle drills.
Oh, Battle Girls with Shane Grease. Holy crap. We got it out in pre-order. He did good. And it is a reprint. I'll tell you all it's a reprint. He rewrote it for us. So if you ordered the canon version, the rack press version is different. Also, it's leading into the 2 sequels he's already working on. So, yes, it's a re-release, but I think it's different enough that it's worth buying. Even if it isn't, we've got sequel 1, sequel 2 to it coming out too. So, happy Valentine's Day.
Major rewrite on that one.
Major, yeah, big rewrite.
Lock and Load's out. The Boy and the Boxers is out, I think.
Oh yeah, it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
Boy and the Boxers. That's if you have a male sprog between about, I'd say 8 to 16, interested in history, you want to get him that book.
John Van Stry's coming out with his 3rd one shortly.
Yep. The Boxer Rebellion, not well known in the States, and probably should be. So if you would like your male sprog to learn about the Boxers Rebellion and have fun doing it, get Boy Against the Boxers and send us money.
Yeah, Padre. Bill Malden. Cartoon about the grunt waving his fingers through the holes in his helmet.
Yep. That machine gun's been suppressed. My ass.
Yeah. The Bill Malden stayed in trouble most of his career with the Army for the cartoons that he did, because he did the little guys.
He did the Unvarnished Truth too.
Yeah. And yes, DW, the people that are in charge, the good people that are in charge, don't want to do anything until the scouts have eyes on.
Yeah. I know that one for a fact. Yeah, the one of his more famous. He's got 2. He's got the supply sergeant with the dead Jeep, and he's about to give it the coup de grace.
Willie and Joe, yeah.
And the one somebody mentioned it earlier. There's one with a grunt in a foxhole, and there's tank treads on either side of the foxhole.
Yeah.
He said, "I've got a target, but y'all are going to have to be patient."
Yeah, Willie and Joe is still an effective cartoon.
That one, the only one that hated Bill Malden. Entire HQ hated him.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't really care for Ernie Powell either, in the military anyway. Now, all the civilians liked him because he wrote the truth.
The troops liked him.
Yeah. Well, he was there with the troops.
He was getting shot at the same time they were.
Yeah. There again, once again, leadership by example. These were not guys like what we saw in Vietnam, where the pampered princes sat back in Saigon and wrote their stories based on the 5 o'clock follies every day. They were actually out in the field with the troops. I need somebody for patrol what? Don't owe me money. Yeah, that's another classic Willie and Joe. But folks, this seriously, take away the fact that, when you're reading these books, look for examples of leadership. You will find them in most of these books. You do.
Well, I wouldn't read them looking for leadership. Just read them because you like reading them.
Yeah, but I'm saying
No.
the examples are there.
Yeah.
That's what a boy's book should be doing in most cases.
One of the many things a boy's book should be doing.
Yeah. Is giving them good examples. Padre, you must have the same Bill Malden book that I've got. Anyway, folks, it's coming up on the weekend. It's Valentine's Day, created by Hallmark and the candy companies to make you spend money.
And I'm going to be spending money.
Yeah, just like everybody else.
I'm not dumb.
But remember your significant others. Tell them you care for them. Tell them you love them. Tell them whatever.
Should be doing that every day anyway.
It's cheap chocolate chip day is Sunday. Yeah, everything's on sale Sunday. However, it's not on sale Saturday.
I gotta go find a teddy bear. That's the I started that tradition in 2008 or 9. I get Rita a cute teddy bear for,
And that's why there's
Valentine's
no
Day.
room on the bed anymore.
and that's why I'm ankle deep in teddy or hip deep in teddy bears are rising fast.
A voluntary mandatory formation. Yes, pretty much. Yeah, DW, you and I date to about the same age. Copying cartoons and sending them out via fax machines. Yes, I know that trick.
I am massively amused by the number of cartoons I see on Facebook that I first saw in the 70s coming across a fax machine.
Oh, yeah. Well, that used to be how we tested secure fax. Was you sent a cartoon across first, and if it came through clear, then you sent whatever you were really sending.
The two vultures, patience my ass, I'm going to kill something.
Yeah.
First saw it as a fax in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
The last great act of defiance, still saw it. I saw it as a fax. The frog strangling the stork, saw it on a fax. And
In the 70s. Ouch. Remember, folks, don't sweat petty stuff. Don't bet sweaty stuff.
y'all be safe.
Stay warm, because there are still places that are pretty damn cold.
Happy birthday, Liz.
And happy birthday, Liz. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.